And it has been developed indigenously by the private company AndroAir in the collaboration with the state-owned Bharat Electronics Limited or BEL. The concept is simple but potentially powerful. Instead of sending one drone at a time, the Carrier-6 can deploy 6 micro drones simultaneously. These smaller drones can then perform different tasks from surveillance and target identification to attack. Now here's how it works. The Carrier-6 acts as the mothership. It carries 6 Alakh micro UAVs. The Alakh-S variant is designed for surveillance and target identification. Once a target is detected, information can be shared between the mothership and the smaller drones. The Alakh-K variant can then be used to attack the identified target. So one platform can potentially handle the entire chain: search, detect, identify and strike. And there is another important capability. The system is designed to continue operations without GPS. That means it can potentially carry out coordinated attacks even when the satellite navigation is unavailable or disrupted. For the army, this could particularly be useful in difficult battlefield conditions. The Vahak-6 is designed to operate at high altitudes in difficult terrain. It can fly up to 4,000 meters above sea level and can reduce the risk to human soldiers by taking on dangerous missions. Now let me straight away go to Group Captain Dr. Rajiv Kumar Naran. Sir, is this the future of our drone technology, drone warfare, sir?
I think Swarm is going to be the future. What you saw in Op Sindoor was the beginning. I think India had anticipated arrival of Swarm technology when Indian Air Force launched Meher Baba Swarm competition on 8th October 2018. And that was a very futuristic approach. This particular Vahak is a manifestation of growing aspirations of India. In fact, if I go back to the history of swarm development, there's another company which is called New Space Research Technologies Limited, which was working on something known as Alakh-S, air-launched flexible asset swarm technologies. So Sabal is a system which will provide surveillance and targeting capability in the immediate vicinity of the operating forces. So I think it is meant for people which are which are having adversaries right next to them. Being a rotary wing, it has got a limited capability, limited range, but being multiple, they create confusion for the adversary. Which target to take on when, and having a small capable drones, some drone doing surveillance, some doing strike, will make air defense or defense against such a swarm of drones little difficult. Now, having said that,
one more thing, sir. One more thing. It is GPS, double GPS enabled. Yeah. Now again, but we are around GPS, and if I was watching Safed Sagar, Americans degraded GPS.
Yeah.
So this features, when we say dual GPS backup, we are still on the GPS system. They can degrade the GPS for us.
Yes, yes. So I think if you go into the Meher Baba Swarm competition, one of the condition was the drone should be able to operate in a GPS denied environment.
Okay.
And so while this system may have a limitation, India has capability where Indian companies have developed some capability. Now, what you saw in Ukraine war was the drones are going hundreds of kilometers inside and striking. And what you saw in Iran war, drones coming from different targets and different directions and striking the same target, which made air defense almost difficult for the Americans. So I think if you integrate Meher Baba competition and the Sabal development, I think these are the complementary capabilities. While this system may have certain limitations, but Indian industry has the capability to develop and operate drones in a GPS denied environment. In the long run, understanding where our adversaries are, if you look where Pakistan or a China scenario or any such scenario, drones will need to have a longer range, greater payload capability, and being able to act as a swarm. Now, swarm is a technology where autonomy has to be higher. And that's a complexity. It's a systems of systems approach. That kind of capability will come with a lot of research and development.
And what about detectability and counter jamming? Because immediately you go up, you can be shot down. Before you deploy, you can be shot down.
Yes. So what we saw in case of Iran was We didn't see many of the rotary drones, but we saw many of the fixed wing drones.
Yes.
If you see the attrition of the Iranians, the attrition of Iranian drone was as high as 80%. So now I come to the 5 critical pillars of drone technology. The first pillar is survivability. Do you have a launching platform which can survive? Yes. The second pillar is vulnerability of critical components. How many critical components can stop your scaling up production? How many critical components can have vulnerability? If you saw what happens in the case of Hezbollah, hundreds of people died because one critical electronic component had a vulnerability which was exploited by the Israelis. So I think we will have to ensure.
Pager.
Yeah, pager attack. Similarly, now prior to 2 years before that, Ukrainian vice premier had really written an open letter to DGI chief accusing him of supporting Russia, where hundreds of Ukrainians got killed using these small commercially operated, commercially available components. So I think it's not only pager, even drone component vulnerability is going to be a very, very serious issue. And Indian Army is going for production of lot of drones in-house, and it's collaborating with the private sector. So we will have to really come up with a system where we can, address these vulnerabilities. Otherwise, we will have a problem.
Why do you say we will have a problem? Why do you say so?
Problem in terms of that can become a limitation of vulnerability when the war starts.
Okay.
So we need to have indigenous capability, and that can come with a systematic approach to indigenization of most of the critical systems. So with my experience of having understood this study for last 12 years, I can tell you about 90 to 95% of the components can be made in India.
Okay.
Provided our acquisition system or the people who are involved in acquisition, they know where indigenous capability exists, and their procurement, RFPs, what is called RFP, request for procurement, they ask for indigenous components, and 95% of critical vulnerabilities can be addressed. Next, fourth part comes interoperability. These drones should be able to interoperate with the other drones of within the Army, within the Air Force, within the Navy, or with the CAPF, and ensure they are segregated from civil drones and they do not kill their own drones. So that kind of interoperability is there. Then we need to have an integration with our unmanned traffic management system. Now we need 2 kinds of unmanned traffic management system. One is the military unmanned traffic management system, and one of the military unmanned traffic management system was developed by Directorate of Aerospace Design, which is called Drone Position Monitoring System. I think it's scaling up work is still required, but the technology exists. And I think they have the capability to translate that drone positioning and a weather system into a full-fledged military unmanned traffic management system. It's how fast we work on that project and make it operational will depend on leadership and timely decision making. So we have a lot of potential. How do we act will be the key to making this indigenous project successful. And how do we ensure in future, when we have to launch these swarm of drones, we have to ensure that drones launched by Air Force, Army, Navy, or Central Armed Police Forces, small drones, helicopters, or manned aircraft, there is a interoperability, integration, and segregation.
Okay. Thank you so much. I've really run short of time. Maybe I should have kept more time for this conversation with you, because this is the future of battlefield technology. I think this is how the battlefields are going to look like. Far more sophisticated than what we see today, but the way the technology is exploding, expanding continuously, I think we are going to see a very different battlefield very, very soon. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining me, and to my viewers, this is all I had on Point. See you tomorrow at the same time. Thank you, and good night.
कुछ भी खा नहीं पा रहा हूँ, बहुत अपसेट हूँ।
Take a date, not bites.
No added sugar, preservative के बिना।